So, Hari Om everybody. There are multiple questions which came. I thought I will answer it on Zoom. First question is Karma Yoga we have to do. For Karma Yoga, the focus is Ishwara Prapti. That means I want to realize God. So all actions are done, surrender to God, with a view that I want to get mukti, liberation. The desire is mumukshatva. I want to get liberated, mumukshatva. So, but when you come to Jnana, the first teaching is you are already mukta. So now, two conflicting viewpoints is there. One is, I want to get liberation, mukti. Another thought is, another teaching of Vedanta is, you are already mukta when you come to Jnana. In Karma Yoga, the desire is for mukti, Ishwara Prapti. So there are two conflicting viewpoints. I want mukti and you are already mukta. So I'm confused about these two. This is the question. So let us understand what is this mumukshatva or desire for liberation. All of us want happiness in life. We constantly chase happiness, one activity or the other activity. Every time when we get happiness, the happiness will be short-lived. The unhappiness will follow. So the life is a race for getting happy. In the race, we'll never win, because the moment you get happiness, unhappiness follows. But we'll not give up. Somehow I want to become happy. We'll hold on to that. And we do everything, whether it's getting a job or marriage or children or promotion or name and fame. Everything is for happiness. And the moment you get happiness, sometime it will be there. After that, it disappears. The reason for this is the happiness we get from the objective world, material world, is short-lived. The moment I get what I want, the mind calms down for momentarily. Mind becomes silent for momentarily. At that time, some of the hormones, good hormones, are secreted in the mind. They're called serotonin, dopamine, all those hormones. We feel happy for some time. Then again, we start craving for the happiness again. So this is what I call as more of a biochemical happiness. And most of the people are stuck to this biochemical happiness and they're addicted. Like we are addicted to anything, they're addicted to this happiness. I want to get more. I want to. So and many times what will happen, the addiction is so much, we'll keep on trying for that. For example, somebody drinks a cup of little bit of alcohol. He gets happy or he feels high. So after some time, he has to drink two pegs of alcohol to get the same happiness, because now the body demands more. So that's why addiction will increase. More. Finally, you'll need one bottle of alcohol to feel the same happiness. So these are biochemical happinesses. I give alcohol as an example, but it can apply to a job, or it can apply to money or children. Everything we want more and more. A dil mange more. It is frustrating. We'll never be satisfied. But most of the people will continue to look for this happiness forever. And even at the time of death, they will not be satisfied. That's why they will take next life. So somebody who is really intelligent will see through this game, understand this is a game. where I can never win. I want a permanent happiness. I want eternal happiness. But this biochemical happiness will not give me happiness, complete eternal happiness. So something wrong with this. Okay. This is the understanding. Intelligent people will get it. So now there is a desire for becoming free by getting eternal happiness. That means happiness which is eternal. So that eternal happiness, desire for eternal happiness is called mumukshatva. Choti choti si asha, small desires is to be replaced now with big desire. Small happiness, I want to have a big happiness. Eternal happiness. So that's where, so this is called mother of all desires. Mumukshatva is mother of all desires. All chota desires I want to replace with one big desire for eternal happiness. That's called bliss, ananda. And desire for mumukshatva is to become free from suffering. What is the cause of suffering? Happiness followed by unhappiness is suffering. So now mumukshatva, the first principle of mokshatva, when you come to Guru will tell, all your life, you have been working hard to become happy. So happiness is the goal and working is the means. So you think that happiness comes from the object. That's why you have a goal and you do some work towards that. Work and get happiness. Instead of that, why don't you get happiness by working rather than end result? They focus on happiness by the work you do rather than the end result of that. Shift your happiness from the goal to the happiness, working itself. So what do you get in this process? Suppose I have a goal that I'll be happy by constructing a house. So you have to work for 30 years to get the happiness. 30 years you have to do loan repayment. The house construction will take 2 years. So you will become happy. But you have to repay for 30 years. So goal, keeping a goal for happiness makes your life miserable because you have to work. And you will get exhausted in the process. Suppose you are able to derive happiness from the work itself, then life will be much better because you will be happiness now, not tomorrow, not after 30 years, after 5 years. Is it practical? Definitely it is practical. How it's practical? You have any hobby? No, yeah, I have a hobby. I'll do the painting. Who sees your painting? All useless paintings. No, I'm not doing painting for showing to somebody. I enjoy the painting. So that means you are getting happiness out of painting, doing painting. I'm very happy. I have a hobby collecting stamps. I look at the stamps. There's no money, there's no reward. End result is not there. The doing is the happiness. So karma yoga comes to that nature. What is that nature? Being happy while doing the work rather than looking as a result. So this being happy while doing the work, it's a hobby. Hobby gives me happiness. It's not the result of the hobby. It's not that somebody will appreciate me. My daughter is a artist. She'll spend 6 hours, 7 hours just painting. She'll forget the whole world. The painting gives her joy, happiness. So can work give us happiness? Is the question. Rather than the result of the work. That's called karma yoga. First level. So the teaching given by Guru is now so far you're working for happiness and end result will come after 2 years or 4 years. That also sometimes favorable or unfavorable. Instead of that, focus on getting happiness by doing work rather than end result. Do not get attached to the end result. Something will happen because the end result is unpredictable most of the time. Derive your joy by doing work rather than the end result. That's the Karma Yoga first principle. So second principle of Karma Yoga. Now, where does the happiness come from? Happiness doesn't come from end result. Happiness comes from within yourself. Your inner reality of happiness comes out. Of course, it will last as long as the work you are doing. But if you are able to do work, you'll feel happy. I'm not speaking of the workaholics. Workaholics are addicted to work because they want to forget something. Okay, and they are also focused on end result. If the end result doesn't come, they'll get agitated, stressed. I'm speaking of Karma Yoga, where work itself can be a beautiful way of enjoying, being happy. This is the first principle of Karma Yoga. The second principle of Karma Yoga, we have to see, when do we get happiness? See, we'll get happiness when I am able to do something good for the others. A little bit good. A child is crying. You go and touch a child and make the calm down the child. So nothing you'll get benefit, but you will feel happy inside. Helping and service gives us happiness. This is a universal principle. Not just us, even animals follow that. Animals also, if some other animal is suffering, the one animal will rush and try to help it. Animals also, because they know helping others somewhere makes me feel joyful. Animals also do that. You know that? Even criminals do that. So helping, this is joy. The second principle of Karma Yoga is try to do service. Now here, don't expect any end result. The person who is doing service, thank you. You did help me. Don't bring that. Just being service, you will feel joyful. That's why in St. John's Hospital, they did an experiment. There are many patients who are in terminally ill. They call cancer. And there are many of them depressed. So what they did, they have some animals nearby, dog, cow. So these patients were asked to give them feed something to the animals. Many of them got out of depression because the animals show love. So when you give the grass or give some food to the dog, you feel happiness. So giving is happiness. That's the second principle of Karma Yoga. First principle of Karma Yoga is what? Doing is happiness. Second principle of Karma Yoga is giving is happiness. So in Western society, they have a therapy called cow therapy and horse therapy. This our Indians knew long back. If you have a cow at home and give a little bit food to the cow, you feel so happy. Touch the cow, you'll feel so happy. Not that you'll get some benefit. That whole process of giving food, touching the cow is happy. And now we don't know about it. We have forgotten about it. In Western society, they have called cow therapy. They have called horse therapy. So you go to a stable and give a little bit grass to the horse and touch the horse. People will lose their depression. So this is the treatment which is given to psychiatric patients. What we call animal therapy. Being with the animal, it will give you happiness. Doing some gardening, putting water to the plant, gives you happiness. So doing is happiness, and giving is happiness. Second principle of Karma Yoga. Doing is happiness and giving is happiness. and not getting attached to the result is the third principle. Whatever result comes, because I am getting happiness already by giving and doing. Whatever result is there, I am not bothered. This is the third principle. So now the fourth principle comes. Why are you doing this? All these things. Happiness anyway short-lived. So while doing, you will be happy. After that, you will be anyway unhappy, no? But there is a fourth principle. What is that fourth principle? So far, all my life, I am doing it for me. I want something. That was strengthening the ego. Now, I'm not doing anything for me. I'm giving. So it's not me. So ego gets, now ego is no longer, ego is dominating my life. So ego my life is not centered around ego. My life is centered around service. Now, whose service you are doing? I am doing service for a human being. Then it becomes social service. Suppose we bring the concept, understand the concept that the God is everywhere, all pervading reality, Ishwara. I am doing service to Ishwara in the form of human beings, in the form of animals, in the form of plant. Then my joy will multiply double. Imagine, okay? Just imagine. Tomorrow, the God decides to call you at his house. The God says, I need some help. Okay? God, your God, whoever personal God is, Ishwara, Vishnu, whoever is that. Please help me. My house is not in order. Then how joyfully you'll do, no? I'm doing work for God. The same doing housework at your house, you'll not feel so happy. But if you are doing God, your energy will double. I'm doing service to God. Right? Imagine instead of God, for God is too much a big example. Let me give you an example of other thing. Tomorrow, our Prime Minister calls you. My dear, please come to my house. I need some help. Then so happy you'll feel. Same work you would have done at home. But doing a work at the Prime Minister's office or God's place gives you much more happiness. So now, another formula for doubling your happiness is do it as a service to God. Because God is all pervading reality. Everywhere God is there. So what is the first principle? The first principle which I told you what? No, first principle I said. So doing gives me happiness. Giving gives me happiness. Giving means service. The third thing is I said, service to God gives me happiness. I think I told fourth principle. First principle, somebody can remember?
Doing is happiness.
Doing is happiness.
Then giving.
Giving is happiness. Then third is serving God is happiness.
Yeah.
Right? Three principles I told, or fourth one?
Three.
Three only. Okay. So then, anyway, this is temporary, no? Because doing anyway, I can't do forever. It's temporary. But there is a fourth principle. By these three principles, I'm reducing my ego. Why do I reduce my ego? If I have less ego, I'll get God in my life. Ishwara Prapti. I am doing this. There's a motivation now. The motivation is not the result of the work, but motivation is Ishwara Prapti. I want to realize God. I'll come closer to God. How I come closer to God? By divine qualities in me increase. By my frequency increases. What are the frequency? From suffering, unhappiness, then laziness, I rise, I become love, compassion, and ego becomes less and less. So then I become closer to God. Fourth principle, why I am doing this? Ishwara Prapti. Service to God for realizing God. If I am able to do service to God, in the form of every being. He may be human being. For outside, he may look human being. Outside the person, the animal, it may look animal. But inside, sir, God is there, no? So you may not know. The God knows that he is serving me through these animals, through this person. So in that process, you become closer to God. Ishwara Prapti is my objective. Fourth principle. Fifth principle, while doing the work. Now work should have, I need a focus. Definitely I need a focus. Otherwise I can't do work. So I take something as a higher focus, some objective. Maybe let's say I want to take this spiritual teaching to many people. They will be happy with that. But I'm not worried about the end result. I'll do my job very well. I'll do my job to the best of my ability. If you are going and helping God, doing service at the God's place, will you do the job efficiently to the best of your ability, or carelessly you'll do? You'll do, put a lot of love, affection. You'll do your best. Result you can't control, but you will do your best. So in the process of a higher goal, my happiness will multiply. First, happiness multiplies by doing. Second, happiness multiplies by giving. Third, happiness multiplied by Ishwara Arpitam. It's an offering to service to God. Fourth, I have a not just small acts. I have a bigger objective. I'm working towards that. It's for God to fulfill those objectives. Maybe I want to give Gita Dnana to many people. I'll try to do that. So now I am at his mercy, at his service. At the service of God, majesty's service, at majesty's service. So now you are no longer a servant of a human being. You have become free from servant of a human being, either a spouse or office. You are at his majesty, the God's service. How do you feel about it? When you are serving God, I'm the servant of God. That makes you dignity. Feel you better. Your job, happiness multiplies. And you are working for a bigger goal. Bigger goal. If God is there, Sri Krishna is there today, what will you do? He'll teach Bhagavad Gita. So you are doing the Bhagavad Gita. Then are you not a servant of God? Whatever Krishna is doing, you are doing. So service to God and at God's service, that makes my life much more joyful. The misery is gone. The misery is being a servant of a human being. The joy is the servant of a God. So fifth principle, this is the fourth principle, I think, or fifth, I don't know. So next principle, when you are doing service to the God, there are small obstacles, big obstacles, the challenges. Will you run away from the challenges? You do your best. Understand that God is there to take care of you. God is there, God knows what best. So you'll do your best. The challenges will overcome. In the process, what will happen to you? In the process, your inner quality, inner strength increases. Inner spiritual quality develops. Shama, Dama, Titiksha, Uparati, Shraddha, Samadhana. Because you will become more Shama means because your mind doesn't go anywhere. You're focused on the work. Your sense organs are controlled. Titiksha means any difficulty comes in life, you'll face it calmly, knowing that God will take care. God loves. Uparati, mind constantly goes to the God, not to the objects of the world. Shraddha, faith in the God develops. Samadhana, balanced state develops. So, mumukshatva, the way to the mumukshatva is karma yoga. Your inner quality develops. So, karma yoga means what? Karmanne vadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Doing your duty without getting attached to the result. So, do not confuse that. When you are doing a duty, you have to have focus. This is what I want to do. This is what I have to do for God. This is what service I want to do. And you have to do your best. And sometimes results will be favorable or unfavorable. So be it favorable result and unfavorable result, you accept as a blessing of God. Try to improve. Constant improvement. Learning. Your skill will improve. And your inner qualities will improve. In the process, you'll definitely become a human being full of higher vibrations, full of joy. So now, if you go to a guru, now this is actually Chitta Shuddhi, inner purification. From a suffering mode, from a depression, from getting attached to result, now you are actually elevated. So it makes you eligible for Jnana. You go to a guru, Jnani guru. So then Jnani guru says, what are you looking for mukti? You are already mukta. So now many people falsely teach that your desire for mukti has to be dropped. That's not a correct teaching. Any desire cannot be dropped. Your desire for mukti will get fulfilled only when you recognize the Atma. Atma is one Paramatma. Jivatma is one with the Paramatma. So now there's a desire for mukti. The Guru says there's no mukti is not there. Mukti is not possible because already you're mukta. So which one you have to hold? You have to go to hold on to your feeling that I want to be free. So freedom from your vasanas and samskaras is happening because of karma yoga. Now adnana has to go. So you cannot drop the desire for mukti just like that. Any desire cannot be dropped. For example, I'm hungry. I want to eat food. No, drop the desire for hunger. You can't do that. The desire for hunger will get dropped when you eat the food. You don't have to drop the desire. The desire gets dropped when you eat the food. Similarly, desire for mukti will get dropped when you realize Jivatma with one with Paramatma. You are already mukta, but your desire, hunger has not gone for mukti because you have not realized that. So that's why what you do, let the desire for mukti be there. Don't drop it, but understand mumukshutva desire has to be converted to karma yoga. Mokshutva desire has to be converted to Shravana, Manana, Nidhyasa, so that your Adnana goes. You are already mukta, but Adnana is holding you. Two things are holding you. Vasanas and samskaras are holding you. Adnana is holding you. Vasana and samskara will get dissipated or dissolved with karma yoga. Adnana will get dissolved with the Jnana, Shravana, Manana, Nidhyasa. That's why desire for mumukshutva has to be converted into action. Atmano mokshartam jagataya. Shravana, Manana, Nidhyasa, seva. Seva will remove your vasanas and samskaras. And karma yoga will remove atma samskaras. Shravana, Manana, Nidhyas will remove your adnana. So it's like somebody saying, I'm hungry. What is hunger? Hunger is nothing important. Drop it. You can't drop the hunger. You have to go pick up the food. You have to convert hunger into action. Pick up the food, put it in your mouth and eat. When food goes to the stomach, your hunger will be dropped. Similarly, desire for mumukshutva has to be converted into action. What is action required? Find a Sadguru, realized master, do karma yoga service, do Shravana, Manana, Nidhyasa under the guidance of Guru, and vasanas will happen, karma yoga, Shravana, Manana, Nidhyasa will do, remove your adnana, Atmano mokshatam jagadita, you make your way of life. Then one day, the desire for moksha will disappear because you understand I am the Atma. No, when will that happen? Don't worry about that. Because if you are on the right path, somewhere it will happen. Don't make it a goal because you are already mukta. Vasana and samskara are getting dropped by your karma yoga. Shravana, Manana, Nidhyasa is dropping your adnana. So where is your problem? No, I want to know when exactly I'll get enlightened. So that is a false understanding because enlightenment is a process. It's not an event. A right way of living is enlightenment. Living in awareness is enlightenment. Shravana, Manana, Nidhyasa, Atmana mokshatam jagadidaya is the enlightened way of living. So does that answer your question, Sriram? Is too heavy?
Yes, Guruji. Yes.